And welcome into On the Go. On the Go means taking children and grandchildren to fun places around the country, hopefully in the Southeast. Today we're going to bring you a familiar face, but she's representing a different place. How's that for poetry? We have with us today Rachel Crumbley. And Rachel, you now are working in conjunction with the Rock Ranch.
That's right.
Which people probably wonder, what do you mean? Or is that a ranch with a lot of rocks? Or what's the background behind the name?
It's a great story. So there's a place in Georgia between Thomaston and Barnesville called the Rock, Georgia.
Okay.
So the Rock, Georgia has a cool story real quick.
So that's the name of the city.
That's the name of the city, right. Okay. So, and the way it got its name is there was a giant boulder, and we're talking back before there were roads and highways and stuff. Ben Franklin and one of his friends went out and set up the postal service, and this was the old Indian trail going from, what am I going to say, east to west. Okay. From Savannah all the way into Alabama and beyond. And there was doctors, and they needed to get mail, so they said just leave it at the Rock. So the stagecoach and then the train would leave the mail at the Rock. Well, then when they finally came along and actually made a postal system and became a city, it was named the Rock, Georgia.
Isn't that something?
All because of that. So Truett Cathy, who created Chick-fil-a, he had purchased land and created a ranch there, so he called it the Rock Ranch. And you know, in addition to cattle and stuff, some of his mission work included creating some foster homes where it gave children some forever homes that are still there. But then the rest of the property is actually cattle farming. But then he created part of it to be destinations for families because he believes in growing healthy families. And so to give the kids a place and families a place to go spend time together and do some kind of farm things that most kids don't get to do these days. Right. Petting zoos and zip lines. There's a carousel. There's now a gem mining museum since there are rocks. Yes. And so you get into a little geology there. There's cane pole fishing, and for fall they do all kinds of special events. They've had this past fall corn mazes and pumpkin launching. They even created, next year you can plan to go to National Pumpkin Destruction Day. So after Halloween, when all the pumpkins are left around, they just have fun with them. So that's kind of what the Rock Ranch is. They open specific days, but in addition to day experiences, they have opportunities to do trainings, host special events. They have some family farm stay homes that you can actually go and stay overnight any day of the year, and they have Conestoga wagons. Yes. And so you can have
with bunk beds in them.
But yeah, with bunk beds in them, and you can actually camp under the stars in old-timey settler type ways in Conestoga wagons. So, and then of course it's Chick-fil-A. So the food there is fabulous. Great. A lot of it's grown right there. So regardless if you're there for the day or overnight or for a corporate retreat or training session or family reunion, the food's always awesome.
So basically, how many people can stay there? I mean, it's if in other words, if somebody from Montgomery goes there, it's about a 2-hour drive from here, right? And they probably need to spend the night maybe. So obviously there's accommodations. Right,
so the homes can sleep 19 individuals or 20 couples, so 40 people if it's couples, depending on how your family is built up. You could probably say 5 people in a house. So these are actually homes that are really nice, granite countertops and
all the neat stuff.
Yeah, all the neat stuff that you would want to enjoy it. Some of them have pools, and so it's a great place for just what you're saying.
And what are they doing for the Christmas season there?
So
because I know, being true at Cathy, they're going to call it the Christmas season.
That's right. It is it's called Country Christmas Nights. Okay. And there are 9 specific nights where you can go, and there are opportunities to drive through and see holiday lights, you know, on the farm, and you can go through in a wagon. Then they also have a train, because there's all kinds of surprises there. So they have a Christmas train ride where you pay extra ticket and you can go through on have that train experience. And then they have a Santa's workshop where you can make crafts and ornaments that you can take home and reindeer food and all that kind of stuff. Then they have what's normally called Truett's Barn, becomes like the little Christmas cafe, so you can eat and everything while you're there too and have all the fun fair foods. But those experiences are called Country Christmas Nights, and we recommend you calling it reservations for those because it can sell out. But then on the other nights between November 22nd and December 25th, you can drive through on your own. Okay. Now, you know, there's not a ton of lights. It's like maybe 1 million lights versus some shows have a lot more than that. Right. But you know, maybe you're going through the area and want to plan to stop and see that. Sure. It'd be a great little thing to do and add to your Christmas activities.
So if you were going there and you're just going to spend one night, chances are there's some other hotels beside, because obviously you may not need some of the accommodations that they have there.
Within the area, there are some hotels that you can stay in. You may have to overshoot a little bit into Griffin, Barnesville, or whatever to stay. But yeah, and there's something right there in Thomaston as well. So it's a quaint little place, a beautiful little place to be, and just a lot of fun for the family. You know, to get back to, like their tagline is, growing healthy families.
Great. So if you went, you can do some things during the day and then stay for the lights at night. Do both?
Well, not during the Christmas night. So they're mainly
during
a night
Christmas,
attraction.
It's all nighttime.
It's a night attraction, but we want you to become aware of it so that you can plan to come back. And if you are a special group, say you decide to bring a family reunion, or Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, we can plan events for the whole day.
Good.
It's just not open for everybody then.
How do people get information?
They can go to therockranch.com.
Therockranch.com.
That's right.
It's very easy.
It's all there.
Because I went to it. That's where I saw the neat little bunk beds.
Yeah, isn't that, they're so cute.
Yeah.
So cute. Just like, you know, Truett Cathy was all about healthy people and healthy families.
Absolutely.
So it's a great organization to be part of.
Good. Well, we thank you for being here. And again, it's a new place, but it's a familiar face.
Yep. Thanks. Great to see you too.
Good to see you. And just remember this, with children and grandchildren, you always want something that's going to have the right kind of atmosphere. This is an area that's going to be a nice Christian atmosphere. And we'll be right back right after this.